Alrighty, welcome back. Today we're tackling Khorne the Betrayer of the World Eaters Legion. This one here, starting off, I left this one in pre-assembly, if that's a term for it. Left it apart, didn't put it all together. I thought it would make it easier going through, picking out bits and pieces of it this way and then assembling the full model later on in steps. All honesty, really wasn't necessary. It actually became a bit of a hindrance for the way I had to handle most of these parts. But as you can see here, I've just made my way through, picking out all the bulk base layer of, what was it, Khorne red. Making my way through there, swapping over to pick out the flesh of Khorne's arm. For the base layer on this, I've just used Bagman's Glow. That there is thinned down just slightly, as you can see by the consistency of it going over the black undercoat. Next up, swapping over to Lead Belcher, going through picking out all the steel metal parts here before moving on to the trim pieces there, going through picking all of that out with Balthazar Gold, which again is a really nice deep, more of a browny kind of gold as opposed to the Retributor that we used last time. Next up, I've just gone through picking out all of the, I guess what would be the undersuit parts. Just going through there with a dark brown, I believe it was Dawnstone. I'm really bad with this. I constantly just pick up a different grey each time and go, oh, I like the look of that with that colour, that'll work nicely. Moving on, then I've got Rhinox Hideout, just doing his one singular pouch, which I'm really not sure what Khorne would even need a pouch for, to be honest. Also picking through doing the handle, the hand wrap of Gorechild. Up next, I just went through picking out all the bone pieces across the model. Entirely up to you what kind of base you want to go for with this. This one here, really just any sandy bony kind of colour works well. At some point, most likely going to give it a wash with Reikland Flesh Shade or Agrax Earth or something similar at any rate to darken things down and get those recesses. Moved on to the shading steps, going through here with non-oil, going across all of the Lead Belcher before swapping over to Carroburg Crimson, where I'm hitting all of the red armour pieces and such, just trying to create a bit more depth and shadows. Using the Carroburg Crimson as well, able to get a really cool transition and gradient going on here, putting it darker at the top of these skulls and kind of fading it out lighter at the bottom. Now I'm on to Reikland Flesh Shade. This is perfect for going over all the gold trim pieces and obviously his arm also. Attacking all of the bone on the model now, going through with Agrax Earth Shade, just darken those recesses and really bring out all the lines. Next step is going through now with Mephiston Red and stippling this on. This here I like to do in a couple of passes, so I'll do again 2 layers of this generally, just to build some intensity and colour transition and shift, leaving the previous layer, Khorne Red, and the deeper shadows, which have been emphasised by the Carroburg Crimson. Just doing this more in the middle as to where I want the light source to be coming down from, and just stippling that heavily to get that nice built up rough texture. Now I move into the tassels, which I use a base layer of Night Lord's Blue, building up from there, just adding in each time a little bit more of Teclis Blue to build up the vibrancy layer by layer as I go on this, until the last layer is just pure Teclis Blue. Also, someone please in the comments, do tell me why Khorne has got tassels. The next one that we use is Evil Sun's Scarlet. This is pretty much going to be the brightest highlight that I go with on the red. There are a couple of spots after I actually finished the mini which I went back with, where I just added a tiny dash of, what's it, Tau Ochre Orange I think it's called, to just bring out a couple of very, very tiny small spot highlights. Now with this stippling that I'm doing here, it's just important to remember as well that I'm not doing it across the whole armor panel. I'm doing it just from where I want the light source to be hitting and the brightest part of the miniature to be. I've moved on now to the flesh, going back through now with Cadian flesh tone. This is thinned down a little bit. It is a little thicker than a regular glaze. Next, I've got one of my favourite parts. Anytime I bust out the fluoros is a good time. Going through now, picking out Khorne's eye lenses, as well as the glowing eyes on the demonic skull on his torso, and the 2 knee guards also. Now jumping in with a fluoro blue, picking out that fusion coil. It just pops so well on the white base. It looks fantastic. Now just going through, hitting all of the higher points on the trims. This here I'm using a mix of Balthazar gold with a touch of silver added into there to just really make those edges pop. If you stayed with me this far through the video, greatly appreciated if you wouldn't mind dropping a like and comment and even a sub. Also, let me know, what Traitor Legion should I tackle next? Picking out all of the rivets across the Mini. There are a boatload of them scattered across his back of his legs, just everywhere. Whole heap on his crown of the helmet as well. Now paying a little bit of attention to Gorechild, just going through, putting on some, what's it called, Nylak oxide? I haven't got it written down, sorry. Pretty sure that's what it is. Giving it that verdigris kind of effect before covering up the model, and just giving it a bit of a finger blast with some blood for the blood god. And here we have him, our boy Khorne the Betrayer, in all of his glory, ready to tear up the battlefield.